Hey everyone, today I thought it would be fun to take a look back at everything that Midjourney released in 2024. I think it's sometimes easy to forget the huge progress that was made. Features like style reference, character reference, personalization, and many others all came out in 2024. Creating images on the website wasn't even available for the vast majority of users until halfway through the year. And toward the end of this video, we'll take a look at some of the many things that we can expect from Midjourney in 2025. Midjourney started 2024 with the release of the V6 Alpha model with improved aesthetics, prompt adherence, text rendering, faster upscales, and better performance. The website overhaul was still in its infancy and gained new filter options, folder organization, and bulk download capabilities. At the time, image generation on the web was only available if you had created at least 10,000 images. By the end of January, that requirement was lowered to 5,000. Features like pan, zoom, and vary region, which were not available during the initial release, were added to the V6 Alpha model. The G6 model was released, and just days later, style reference graced us with its arrival. And for the first time, we could use reference images to apply a specific style to our results, taking some of the pressure off of trying to describe a style with words that Midjourney will interpret in the way that you want. Now, everything that I just mentioned was just from the month of January. January was wild, and it continued. Beginning in February, those who had created at least 1,000 images could now create images on the new website. The V6 model was updated to improve fine details, contrast, and coherence, and became the default model in mid-February. In early March, Turbo mode became available for V6, which can lead to depletion of your fast GPU hours at lightning speed if you're not careful. A new version of the Describe command was released, which is an image-to-text model that can be helpful for coming up with starter prompts. And then Midjourney's first ever character reference feature was released. Character reference has not been updated since its initial release in mid-March, so that gives you a hint at one thing to expect in 2025. Just a few days after the SREF release, we got a major update to style reference, 3 new style reference algorithms, and a style version parameter that we could use to switch between them. If you're curious, SV4 is the default, and style version can only be used if you're using an image URL as a style reference. The website received more updates, including a new web page to submit, rate, and view feature requests. Needless to say, the first 3 months of the year for Midjourney were extremely fast-paced. In April, style reference continued to evolve and SREF random was introduced, letting us explore the latent space of visual styles. Just add --SREF random to your prompt and a random style is applied to your results that can be called in future prompts using a specific code number. This opened up many rabbit holes for me. Style reference is my favorite feature, and I have a whole collection of curated SREF codes available for download along with several videos. I'll link those down below. Midjourney continued to open up the alpha website to more users, lowering the image requirement to 100 by mid-May. Those with alpha website access could also use the new web creation rooms, allowing people to create together in a way similar to Discord channels. Midjourney's first ever model personalization feature was released in June. Each Midjourney model has its own default aesthetic, and the release of model personalization became yet another way to tune our image results to our personal preferences. Blending of multiple personalization codes, multiple SREF codes, and multiple SREF URLs became possible shortly after. And many people may not realize this, but Midjourney is an independent research lab. They don't have investors and are completely community funded. One of their research projects is to analyze potential connections between aesthetics and things like demographics and values. In June, they asked the community to participate in the first of 3 in-depth surveys. We'll learn more about the results soon enough. In July, our speed mode setting began syncing between the website and Discord. The 6.1 model was released at the end of the month and also came with updates to model personalization with improved nuance and accuracy. I have a video comparing 6.0 to 6.1 if you want to learn more. A new command /list personalized codes was enabled on Discord so you can see all of your global personalization codes. Huge updates were made to the website in August. As of August 21st, anyone could create images on the website. Not only that, having a Discord account was no longer a requirement to use Midjourney. You can now sign up or connect either a Google or Discord account. The basic image editor was also released on the website, making it much easier to reframe, repaint, and edit prompt text all in one easy-to-use interface. A second community survey was released and 2 new image pair rankings were made available, one specific for ranking prompt accuracy and another for ranking Niji model images. In September, personalization was enabled for the Niji 6 model. A third and final survey was released for community participation. This one focused on the connection between aesthetics and human values and principles. Shortcuts that are created using the Prefer Options commands on Discord became available to use on the website. You still have to create them on Discord, but you can use them in your prompts on the website now. These shortcuts are ways to create aliases for things like character reference URLs, SREF codes, whatever you want. I'll link a video down below. The major release in October was the new full image editor. The full editor is different from the basic editor because it allows you to upload and edit external images. The full editor also has a retexture feature that sort of acts like an image filter by changing the look of the image while adhering to the core structure of the image. There is a lot you can do with the full editor, and I share a ton of examples from product mockups and character posing to retexturing with SREF codes in this video. Alright, we're getting to the end of the year here, but Midjourney still had a couple of major releases up their sleeves. First came Patchwork, their new world building tool. It is in research preview mode right now, which basically means there are a lot of changes to come. Patchwork integrates Midjourney's new Patchwork AI with its image models to help you map out storylines and brainstorm narratives. For an introduction, check out the video linked below. Lastly, model personalization was completely revamped. In addition to our global profile, we can now create multiple personalization profiles, including mood board-based personalization. This opens up even more space for customization, particularly when you have projects that require different aesthetics. Midjourney wrapped up the year with the Holiday Relaxathon, giving us near zero wait times for relax mode jobs during the last couple of weeks of the year. So that was a lot, right? I think we got some pretty great stuff in 2024, and the roadmap for 2025 is packed with even more exciting developments. Here are some of the ones that we know of. First, the V7 model should be released by mid-January with a quick-to-follow 7.1 release. In 2025, Midjourney plans to increase their model release frequency dramatically. They're adopting a new approach to versioning models for more frequent and targeted updates, aiming for 6 to 8 throughout the year instead of just a couple like we saw in 2024. Bigger image grids with batch size 8 should also be released around the time V7 comes out, along with Midjourney's first video model. This will likely be a V6 image-to-video model at first, with a V7 video model released at a later date. Character reference will get a major upgrade after the V7 release and will include the ability to handle multiple characters in a single scene. V7 is expected to use a new style reference system, and it's not clear yet if the SREF codes will be compatible between V6 and V7. Somewhat related, I'm hopeful that they will add the ability to weight SREF image URLs on the web. We can do this on Discord by using the double colon notation, but it's ignored when prompting on the website. Midjourney is planning to release an SREF Explorer for quick exploration of many SREF codes at once. It seems like this will likely happen early in the year. We can expect an omni-reference system that will be able to handle things like consistent objects, non-human characters, and logos. The full editor is expected to get an improved retexturing algorithm. It's possible the full editor will be opened to more users. I'd also like to see some of the bugs get fixed, especially when sending Midjourney created images to the full editor. Patchwork is expected to see major improvements, including things like better integration with importing images, characters, and style references, ability to render out storylines and sequences, integration with video and 3D capabilities, expanded login support, major UI improvements, better organization and navigation within and across worlds. It will evolve from its current state of a narrative brainstorming tool to a more powerful, comprehensive storytelling platform throughout 2025. We might finally see a Midjourney mobile or desktop app. Based on a recent poll on Midjourney's Discord, most people voted for a desktop app. I'm guessing these results might be a little skewed though, because people who only use the website never see these polls. Nonetheless, it seems like many would prefer a desktop app. The Explore feed will get another algorithm update, possibly including personalized feeds. And this hasn't been talked about in the Midjourney office hours recently, but I'm hopeful that in 2025 we'll see more of our default settings sync between the website and Discord. I'd also like to see standard profile creation enabled for Niji users. Currently, you can create a global personalization profile and use mood boards with Niji, but you cannot create a Niji-specific standard profile. That said, it's been suggested that Niji may no longer need to be a separate model if V7 does various anime styles well enough. And who knows, maybe creating and using a specific anime style mood board in V7 would also be sufficient. We won't know until V7 is released. In 2025, it may also be possible to create PNG images with transparency. I've seen this come up as a request during the weekly office hours over the last couple of years, and it's been pretty low on Midjourney's priority list, but it sounds like it might actually happen. And if you're interested in the research side, Midjourney will be publishing articles about their surveys that some of us completed in 2024, looking at the relationship between aesthetics and things like personality and values. Midjourney has hinted at some secret hardware and software projects that will be unveiled during the first half of the year. All we know is that some of them are directly Midjourney related and some are not. This is just some of what we can expect over the next several months. Let me know down in the comments what you are most excited to see for Midjourney in 2025. If you want to stay up to date on the latest Midjourney news, I do monthly wrap-up videos. Also keep an eye on Midjourney's announcements on the website and Discord. Subscribe to Midjourney's Luma calendar for event notifications, including their weekly office hours, which are now streamed on both X and Discord. And for even more Midjourney content, including things like monthly prompt collections and PDF guides, you can check out my Patreon community. There are free and paid tiers. I'm actually doing a paid tier giveaway soon as a thank you for reaching 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube. If you want your name thrown into the drawing, just make sure that you join as at least a free member by Wednesday, January 8th. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking, subscribing, all the things. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.